What's going on, Talk Music? My royal family, my kings and queens. This is Talk Music Ent Podcast Show. I am your host, King Felipe. You know I love it. So I don't know when this news came out because I've been busy. But I will say, I don't want to be biased at all. Because I really... Okay, we're talking about Todrick Hall. And you got backup dancers saying that he's not paying them correctly. You got assistants saying that he's a sexist, he's a racist. I mean, it's so much. It's a lot, man. I just started watching Lovely T. She was covering the story. And I was just thinking like, hey, you know, because I did a YouTube video praising him. And I'm still not going to just... I don't know, because I really want to meet Todrick. I'm a super fan of Todrick. Like I said, he stole my best friend Taylor Swift from me. But I hope that... Which I ain't gonna even say I hope, because you ain't just gonna have all these people coming out saying these things about you if it's not true. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of truth into what these people are saying. And if it is, I hope that I hope that he change it, man. Like, cause it's not a good look. It's not a good look. You know, especially one of the I'm gonna just let Lovely T cover this story. One of the guys, I think it was his assistant, said that I think it was Todrick Hall assistant, and he said that his job was, and he had been working for Todrick for a long time. He watched Todrick underpay or not pay his employees, but would pay guys, escorts, strippers, hundreds and thousands of dollars on a daily. Like, that's not the type of image or name you want to be putting out or making for yourself in this type of industry. But I don't know, let's see.
Shout out to all my tea sippers out there. We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready, because you already know this tea is what?
Piping hot.
Hey, you guys. I hope you guys are doing good. So I want to come on here and talk about the whole Todrick Hall situation, okay? So if you guys don't know who Todrick Hall is, he is a dancer, singer, songwriter, very, very talented man. He's been out here doing all types of dance moves, music videos on YouTube, on television. I also believe that he's done stuff with RuPaul's Drag Race. He's like best friends with Taylor Swift.
Also,
honey, he's been living his best life, okay? And so now, after all of that, he's now being exposed for basically using people for services, using dancers, using people as much as he can to get what he can out of them. Then he spits them out and throws them away without paying them. Back on October 18th, a young man named Tomography on Instagram decided to basically blast Todrick Hall. So I'll come back with the rest of my commentary. So, Tomography says, a bunch of folks have asked about my experience working with Todrick, and I know it's no surprise, but just going to tell you all now, yes, your reservations about the fella are valid. Then he goes on to say, which is sad because...
Let me pause, because I don't know, I think I'm just late or something. I didn't know that people had, like, a bad rep. I don't know.
He is talented indeed, but that talent is squandered by coonery, baby, whitewashed to hell, miserably unprofessional, and also does not pay. I've done 2 videos for him now. The first one was nails, hair, hips, and heels, was unpaid because he needed over 60 plus dancers, and says that he didn't have the budget to pay us, then don't use dancers. The fuck? But I did it. I thought it'd be a great opportunity. 3-day rehearsal, then a full... The coon jumped out on set. A lot of black gays were standing behind him in the shot, and he turned around and says, "This is looking a little too chocolate. Can I get some lighter people behind me?" Child, me and one of his tour dancers locked eyes and made the same face. Over it. He boasted about how he dropped $60K on making the video, but the dancers saw none of it. Now at 20 million views on YouTube, we helped him create some of the best content ever, monetized too, so I'm sure we generated an amount somewhere in the hundreds of thousands. Another video, because he only wanted 2 dancers, like single ladies, and it would be paid. The F, I think he's trying to say fag. That's the name of his video, so don't sit here and tweet me about homophobia, assholes. He says the video... Now I turned down being a cute-ass extra on Insecure's HBO Season 4 for this shit, only to be ghosted with no pay after the video was done. Then he goes on to say a bunch of personal assistant who did not sign an NDA decided to blast him and stated that he's not only, cheap, doesn't pay people, uses people, he's a racist, but he also sexually harasses young men as well, okay? I'm going to go...
Wow, that's a big extreme. Oh, God. Todrick. I feel like Tyra Banks. I was rooting for you. We all was rooting for you. Oh, it's like when you don't want something to be true, but it's just too much evidence. You just know it's true.
So the former assistant says, "I was at Todrick Hall's personal assistant for years, and I know every detail of his life, including deliberate non-payment to people, racism, sexual assault, sexual harassment, online bullying, exploitation, illegal business practices. The list goes on. P.S. I never signed an NDA." Todrick, during the Straight Outta Oz, and Chester Lockhart aggressively came behind me on the tour bus and put his hands down my pants and grabbed my peen. In the legal world, we call this sexual assault. Todrick punished me after I told him.
Damn. Wow. Hollywood in the industry is like one of the gay people always, especially in America, they always say Atlanta or New York. Nah, Hollywood in the music industry. So it's like, I just watched a video last night about P. Diddy and how Exhibit was talking about when he was at this party. I want to go. Is that?
Then he goes on to say, Todrick has an obsession with strippers and escorts. He treats his regular employees like they are sex workers, grabs their asses daily, and pulls his peen out in front of assistants and dancers constantly. This is his ex he attacked on social media, who was a backup dancer on the tour. You should have seen how much he spends on OnlyFans and flying boys. I've watched him not pay people who work to build his career, but then drop hundreds of thousands on boys daily. Going to strip clubs, hiring escorts was part of my job, which got messy. And he goes, people are ready to spill the tea on Todrick Hall. He has hurt you too. Let's share some stories. So lady says, I don't want to tweet out my page because I'm a nobody and I don't need Todrick's drama, but I fully believe you. He used my child in his Boys Were Pink video where he was only 6 at the time. He held us on 2 different sets for over 12 hours, which is illegal for children. Only gave the kids granola bars, chips, and juice as food, didn't fucking pay him, and didn't even put his name in the end credits for a visual album like all the other adult dancers.
So when it comes to children, I don't like kids being disrespected, mistreated, abused, used, none of that. So as I get deeper into this story that Lovely T is covering on Todrick Hall, that part, everything else bothered me, and I'm just hoping that it's not true. But that part right there, bro, oh my God, like, that just made my stomach sick. But anyway, Todrick responded, so I'm gonna let Lovely T tell you what he had to say.
Threads started going crazy with people blasting Todrick. Todrick then decided to address the initial guy, Tom, T-H-O-M, Tomography, who had blasted him. And so this is what Todrick had to say in response. Todrick says, my comment, I adore Tom and I love him. This is surprising to me that he hasn't been paid yet. He will be paid not because he's trying to expose me, but because he deserves it. I only got 2 texts, no calls. I was overseas opening my tour and that video has only been out for about 2 weeks. Well, then Melania Luzon, who's a drag queen who's also verified on Twitter, replied back to Todrick, and she goes, well, you still owe me for hosting your Halloween party last year, so... Boys, and that's why if you feel like you're being used, you should not go back, because people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So
I read a Facebook post a while back, and it was something in reference of no one can use you. People only do to you what you allow them to do. So if you're being used, you're allowing people to use you. And that post resonated with me so deeply because there was so much truth in it. And it is so true. It made me think, you know, back to how I would feel some type of way with my family, would take advantage of me and stuff like that, and then continue to do it. But it's like, fool me once, fool me twice, y'all know how it go. You know, like, when people show you who they are, believe them. And it took me a long time to wake up, but at the same time, I'm not trying to defend Todrick because I don't know. But this is disgusting. What y'all think? I mean, it's bad. It's not good at all. Especially if it's not. I mean, if it is true. I mean, you got lawsuits and stuff like that, so there's no allegedly. I think that they settled out of court or something. Oh my God, I'm really, really disappointed.
Now, as far as the sexual harassment, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And there had to be some truth to it because the personal assistant, Tom, he went and sued Todrick because Todrick wasn't paying him. He also, in that lawsuit, has sexual harassment. He has all types of stuff in that lawsuit. And Todrick quietly settled with him. If you know that you're not guilty of this, you're not going to settle. So the fact that he settled makes me feel like what the personal assistant is saying is true.
Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm going to finish watching Lovely T and getting the rest of the tea, but I got to process this. So down in the comment, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all feel like, you know, Todrick is guilty for all these allegations and assumptions that is thrown his way? I don't know. With that being said, man, this is Top Music Ent Podcast Show. I'm your host, King Felipe. Until next time, my royal family, my kings and queens. Know your worth. Know your worth. My backup dancer, my kids, my mothers to these kids, and fathers to these kids. Know y'all worth.
You holler, let me see them dollars. And if you see her in the club, you know what to call her. With next week, they're holding a huge. Oh my gosh, yes. I cannot believe this. Hi. I'm Niecy. I'm Mickey. But you can call us Drippy. Dripeisha?
Yes.
Dripeisha, oh